In this video, I will be going over the informative speech requirements. So I am going to share my screen with you so we can walk through it together. All right, so we have the informative speech worth 55 points total. Your main goal is to remain neutral on a topic when you're presenting it. You do need two credible sources. You'll cite these in your speech, on the outline, and then in a reference page attached to the outline. Visual aids are optional, and I actually suggest not using them unless absolutely 100% necessary. Couple of 8 goals. Developing a formal outline with 3 main points. Follow the template. Please, for the love of everything, follow that template. You're going to explain or describe something without being persuasive. You're going to use an introduction, conclusion, and transitions from one main point to the other main point. You're using examples to expand and clarify those main points and really supplement and expand. And then you're going to employ descriptive neutral language. Neutral is key because remember, you're not persuading. You will find, use, and cite information from at least 2 current and credible sources. Current is within the last 10 years. And then you'll use a speaking outline consisting of only keywords and continue practicing and utilizing that extemporaneous speaking style. And again, you're not trying to persuade the audience. This is just information, offering us new knowledge. So to get started, consider your own interests, the audience's interests, available reference materials. I always think especially for an informative, you want to present on something that you find interesting or something that you want to learn more about. When you are excited about the topic, it comes through in your vocal delivery. You get more vocal energy, and it's easier for the listener to listen to because you sound excited about it, so therefore I'm going to get a little excited about it. Even if your topic is something more somber, you can have some good vocal energy behind it to show that you're passionate about the topic. As you go through, you do want to get different sources, find good information. Don't just paraphrase it or direct quote everything. You want to put it in your own words and then cite where you got the information from. Some requirements. The written requirement, as usual, you have to submit your typed formal outline the day of your speech, hand it to your teacher, and then an electronic copy of that same outline is due via turn it in by midnight the day of your presentation. The outline's worth 10 points, and that counts in on your speech rubric sheet. Research requirements, you need at least 2 current sources cited, and current means within the last 10 years. You do need to identify each source when you deliver the presentation, and that it will be within the outline on a single page APA bibliography, and then cite it when you're delivering it orally. This goes through and tells you a little bit about how you can cite in the outline. When you're citing in the speech, you want to give the author's last name, the year, and the type of publication, the name of the publication, and you can help describe the publication if it's something that's a little bit more obscure, but it will help the audience determine credibility if they know that the magazine is the #1 whatever magazine on that topic, something like that. Personal interviews do not count as one of your 2 sources. You do need to use sources that are not necessarily personal interviews. Again, there's no visual requirement. You're not required to use PowerPoint or another visual aid, and I suggest not unless you absolutely have to. It just keeps it a little bit easier, and you can focus your time on the speech and the outline. It's 5 to 6 minutes for this presentation. Again, if you go longer or shorter, you're going to risk losing points, so make sure to time your presentation when you're practicing it out loud, so you can adjust as necessary. And there is, again, your checklist, formal typed outline, 2 or more sources, 5 to 6 minute time frame. If you get a C or lower, which is 43 points or less, you'll need to visit the Speech Center to get help on the persuasive speech. Again, in the course packet and on Blackboard is the instructor's evaluation. I tell you exactly what you're going to be graded on. The parts of the introduction need to all be there. In terms of the body, again, neutral. Are your main points clear? Do they make sense? Is your evidence cited? Are you using connectives or transitions from one main point to the next? And then a separate portion for the sources or evidence. Did you orally cite those sources? Did you give those complete citations in your speech? Did you appropriately use the supporting material? Were your main points supported enough with the sources and evidence? And did you clearly develop those main points using that support? So obviously the sources and evidence are a really big part of the informative because they're its own section for 10 points. And then the conclusion, reviewing the statement, doing that summary, and having a closing strong impression. Delivery is half of the points. So you do need to pay attention to that. Well, less than half, but close, close math. 15 points for delivery, evidence of practice, preparation, extemporaneous speaking as usual. The first 4 are really linked because if you don't practice and prepare, you're not going to speak extemporaneously, which also means you don't have key words only on your speaking notes. It means you're probably reading. And if you're reading, you're not maintaining extensive eye contact. So practice, practice, practice. Do this a couple of days in advance, not just the night before. And then you can see all that. And then also we have the informative peer feedback form that you'll need to pay attention to. Print one of these out so you can utilize it when you are reviewing someone else's speech. So that is that on the informative speech presentation assignment. Good luck.